Hey friend, welcome back, or if you're new, welcome. Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm an artist, illustrator, and maker, and I make a whole bunch of different things from murals and public art, wearable pieces, illustrations, artwork licensing. I work with a whole bunch of different clients, and I've been working full-time for myself as an artist for getting close to 9 years from memory. On this channel, I don't necessarily go through client projects, but I give you a bit more of an insight into the personal projects that I do, the artworks that I make, and how they can both feed off each other. And the episode that I wanted to make today is all about a project that I did a long time ago, back in I think about 2016 from memory, maybe 2017. And the project is called Kinetic, and the pieces I'm going to show you today are all jewellery and wearable pieces that are a part of the exhibition that I did. The body of work was for an event called Sydney Contemporary, which is a really big exhibition of all different galleries and artists, and I was actually asked by an organization if I would be their artist for the year, and I based it all around this idea of kinetic energy and creating an artwork that was all about getting people to participate in the artwork and sort of bring it to life. So I had pulley systems, I had a big wheel that spun that was connected to a pulley system that opened up like this egg thing. I had this drill bit that spun. There was lots of different pieces, but that's not what I'm going to talk to you about today. What I want to show you is the jewellery that I made as a support to that exhibition. And I wanted to create some jewellery pieces that would connect to it that potentially people could buy, because the artworks themselves weren't really for sale. And I had one of my really good friends who is a jeweler assisting me on the project, and so we thought it was a really good chance to work together for the first time in this way. Let me jump into it and just start showing you each of these pieces. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is that obviously you can tell that I'm in a different space. I am no longer in my old studio. I had to move studios. I'm sharing with some friends, and I'll probably do a bit of a studio tour or something like that in the next few months. I'm still trying to work out things like the lighting and the setup, so bear with me as I try and work out. So yeah, that is something I forgot to mention. So the first piece is this, and it's actually a bowl made out of cardboard. It's like hollow. So I really like this. It's like 2 sheets of cardboard that have been cut and folded into shape with this really cool rim. And whilst I don't necessarily like the pattern anymore, I think I would really like to repaint it and even try and make another one. I think this could be really cool as an actual bowl. I guess it connects a little bit to the platters that I made in my last video as well, or it could be used as like a prototype for maybe a mold that I could get made or 3D printed or something like that. But yeah, I just really like it as a shape, and that's that. The next 2 pieces are these, and although my wrists are really small, they're actually bangles. These are very simple to make. They're literally layers of cardboard that have just been cut and glued together, and I have obviously painted on fronts and backs. This one here is my favorite because it is like the original concept of how I used to this eye pattern is something that I've done since the very beginning. The eye motif is a huge part of my practice and has a really big sort of bit of symbolism for me. Again, I am not crazy on the paint jobs, and they're a little bit chipped and damaged, so I wouldn't mind repainting these or even making some more in some more interesting shapes. like maybe making some big flower bangles. I could see these being used for photo shoots. And yeah, so this is something I really want to try again. Next are these two pieces here, and these are actually brooches. They're made out of a mixture of cardboard, and I really wish I knew what the metal was, but I'm just going to say metal for this whole video, and if I find out what it is from my friend, I'll put it down the bottom here. But yeah, so it's a mix of metal and cardboard, and it's layered up, and so these are essentially miniature versions of the big wheel that was in the exhibition, and each individual, or like the two middle pieces, actually no, the three pieces spin. All four of them actually. Okay, all four pieces spin, and they've all been like individually painted, and then there's like a little axle point in the middle that allows it to all spin on itself. And the back is a really nice brooch back pin that, again, my friend Nina, she designed for it, and it just feels really delicious. In terms of going forward with this kind of idea, I think this is a really clear example of some kind of like kinetic piece that I could make or collaborate and make with other people. Like I could see like working with another jeweler or even my friend again to create an updated version of something like this with my updated illustration style, or like my current style would be really fun. The next piece is another brooch, and it's pretty epic. This is inspired by a game. So, you know, the games where there's a ball that drops down the maze and moves all the way down. That's what this is inspired by, because we have made this little flower piece. It moves along the track, or this maze, and it's like a game. It's again made from a mix of metal and cardboard, and all hand painted, with a really cool brooch back as well. And we also on the back left it so we could attach it to some string and make it a necklace too, which is something that I always find really important for bigger statement pieces, is that if, I guess, making different ways for people to actually wear the piece just makes it better. Yeah, and it's really nice. The next two pieces are necklaces. So they've got a cardboard ring, and we've made an eye out of the metal that is fed through the cardboard so it can spin. And it's just super fun. It's like really simple in mechanics, but I really like what it looks like. It actually goes quite well with what I'm wearing now. I don't really wear necklaces these days, but I could potentially see myself wearing it maybe, I guess. I could see other people wearing it because it still feels quite wearable because the size is quite small. And yeah, I just like that it's kinetic and that it moves and it's playful, and it was just I'm pretty sure this was one of the ideas that Nina came up with in terms of what making it possible. And the next two pieces are just steel, so we wanted to, I guess, have a range of really conceptual art object jewellery pieces through to some more wearable pieces. And so this is all metal that Nina has just like bashed in a little bit. You'll see that it's quite wonky and a little bit like bent and warped, and we wanted to have that really organic feel to it. The shape is really interesting and great, and I know it took Nina a long time to cut all these pieces out. And then I painted both sides, and there's also at the top just a really nice slick channel for the cord to go through, so it just feels really elevated as a piece. I just really like it too. So I could definitely do more of these. And this could be, I think, an example of a collaboration I could do with another artist, say a jeweler, or even just like a metalwork person, using this as like a prototype for that. And the final piece is this one, which is inspired by my plaits. I used to have really long hair. I used to have plaits down to my nips, and I used to wear them as plaits all the time. We thought it would be really fun to create a necklace piece that riffed off that. So we've got the plaits that wrap around, the little elastics, and the ponies at the end. And it's just really fun. And I've never seen anything like this before. And I would definitely love the idea of someone to wear this. Yeah, so these are my plaits. So these are all the pieces, and I know that normally I would have the final part of this video be based on what I'm going to do with these pieces next, but I thought I'd just do a shorter one this time round and just archive these and document these pieces. And I'm going to let the ideas percolate a little bit more and see what happens. I hope you liked this video. Maybe let me know in the comments which piece you liked the most, or maybe if you're an artist who might want to collaborate on a piece that's inspired by one of these pieces. I'm always open to hearing about potential collaborations. Again, thank you for all the support in following me on here, and it's really nice to chat to everyone in the comments and hear some just like really nice words from you and saying how much you like the videos or you find them inspirational. It just feels really nice to have that connection, and I really enjoy putting these videos together as well. So until the next video, feel free to follow me on Instagram as well. That's where I am most often, and yeah, just hit me up in the DMs, say hello, let's be friends, and yeah, until the next video, enjoy, see you later, bye.